Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I am Delia. I'm one of your co-hosts, and I'm here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law, Beatrice.
Hello.
We are here to talk Welcome to Plathville as we continue to cover the run-up to Lydia Plath's whack-ass wedding.
Things are tense.
Having so much fun.
It's lit.
And so before we get into our recap, we do have to issue you a little warning hoodie, a little disclaimer. Please hide your wife and hide your kids. This is a politically incorrect podcast. We're stupid. We're dumb, which means stupid.
Yeah.
And we say stupid things. And so if you're sensitive,
Go away, man. This is our podcast.
you might want to find yourself another dumpster.
Bye.
But if you want to get on board for the Veronica hate train, welcome to this dumpster.
And if you like what we do over here, please be sure to follow us on Instagram if you aren't already at Reality TV Cringe. And join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Reality TV Cringe. It's so much fun in the VIP dumpster over there. We have so much content over there. It's crazy.
So much.
So much.
Beatrice.
So
And if you are watching on YouTube, please do not forget to like and comment and share and subscribe, because everything you do really helps your girls to grow. And if you'd
Yeah.
like us to grow, if you would like us to continue making content for you, please, if you could help us, that would be so awesome. And so thank you in advance.
Thank you.
And so as ever, Beatrice, I'd like to ask you, after watching the most recent episode of Plathville, what are some of your takeaways?
I was loving Micah and Veronica's couples therapist.
Oh, yeah.
She was reading Veronica to
Based.
filth.
Mm-hmm.
So based. Loved her. Want more of her.
Yes. And my takeaway is that in that same therapist session, my hate for Veronica grew. And, previous to this, I didn't think it could grow. I thought I was at maximum capacity for that twat. But nope, I hated her more because she looks right into the camera. She looks right at Micah. She looks right at the therapist. And she just smiles as she says, I love being hateful.
Yeah.
I love being an absolute see you next Tuesday. And I don't care who I hurt.
She literally says it feels good. Feels
Yeah.
good to hurt Micah.
And so I was like, are we watching somebody with a debilitating personality disorder
You say this every
on
week.
our television? I know, but I often edit it out
Yeah.
for YouTube. But are we literally just allowing ourselves to become turbo enraged by somebody who maybe can't help the fact that they're broken irrevocably in their inner world, that their brain is fucking broken, and that their only option left is to be an abusive piece of shit on planet Earth? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Sign me up. That was my takeaway, Beatrice.
Man. Based.
All right, so without any further ado, let's get into this week's recap of Welcome to Plathville, Season 7, Episode
7.
7,
Mm-hmm.
entitled
The Houseguests. I don't know who that's referring to.
Zach and Lydia.
At Micah and Veronica's house?
Yes.
Okay, I guess.
And maybe it's Zach coming to live with Barry. I don't know.
Well, that's where we start the episode. We have Zach coming down from Colorado. Lydia helped him move all of his shit down to Georgia. He's moving into the Plath family home. He's moving into Isaac's old room up in the attic. And so Isaac is there as well. He helped clean out that room. I guess he moved into Mariah's old room. And so everybody's moving Zach up on in the house. And we have a little interstitial with Isaac, who we haven't heard too much from in this season, really. We've seen him with his Pookie Bear and everything, but that's about it. And this is where he expresses his feelings about Zach. He doesn't really know him. He thinks that Zach is a little pushy, a little bossy, and he's a little worried about it, but he's hoping for the best.
Right. And I was just wondering if maybe there were some things that we didn't see from the day of his proposal.
I thought that too.
Because I know Ethan and Micah and even Veronica were co-signing that Zach was very controlling, very exacting. It was getting on their nerves. So maybe there's a bit more that he was doing. And even when he's upstairs in his new room with Lydia, and she's so excited, and they're talking as they're sitting on the bed, and she cuts him off at some point. The way he pulls himself back and looks at her and kind of chuckles a little bit. And then she's like, what did I do? And I was like, the energy shift in him because he got annoyed
Mhm.
that she spoke for him. I was like, ooh, misogyny alert.
That's what I've been feeling.
Misogyny
man.
alert.
And I've been sus of Zach from day one, and I know it wasn't popular at first, but like now we're starting to see these little things, and I was wondering the same thing because Isaac said that he was pushy and bossy. He also said he doesn't think that he puts Lydia first, which I thought was really interesting to point out. And I'm like, what are we not seeing?
We're not seeing something because certainly it wasn't just engagement day because clearly Zach was trying to put Lydia first and create like a beautiful, magical experience. Maybe there's just other things that are happening behind the scenes that we're not privy to. But yeah, Isaac seems to have a healthy dose of suspicion when it comes to Zach. And so I'm kind of agreeing with him a little bit. But you know what? Zach's a young kid. And Zach's probably never been in a relationship in his entire life.
I mean, he says he has.
Okay.
Allegedly.
All right, with his hand.
Ew.
I'm sorry, but like I just don't know how much of an experienced person he is, so he might not know how to be in a relationship. But yeah, a little worried for Lydia.
And it's like at first when the season started, we had a lot of the criticism of Zach coming from Ethan and his big dumb caveman brain of just, are you gay? Yeah. Are you queer? And so it's like, of course you don't want to take that seriously because it's just so stupid. But then it's like, then you have the sentiment coming from Micah. And then you have some of it coming from Kim, who also, who cares about Kim? But then you have it coming from Amber and Isaac. And so it's like, okay, if enough people are expressing some reservations about this guy, like maybe we need to listen to it. I'm seeing a lot of discourse online being like, nobody should be critical of Zach. He's so nice. And I'm like, yeah, but this is still an edited TV show. Are we just going to trust him? And maybe he's not terrible, but maybe he's not the best either. I don't know.
Yeah. And I would like to say that I trust Lydia's judgment, but I don't.
Exactly.
And it's not because she's a bad person. It's just that she's a very naive, guileless person who hasn't really experienced much of the world outside of her various and sundry mission trips. But that's not the real world, honey.
No.
So you don't have like a good sampling of actual people that share the planet with you. And so, yeah, I'm a little worried, and it's very fast, obviously, but she's going to do it.
She is.
Nobody's going to stop her.
Nope.
So we've got Zach for a little while at least.
Oh, definitely. And then Zach makes a comment before we move on to the next scene saying that him and Lydia have been moving so fast that they haven't had time to breathe. And I think this is after she cut him off a little bit and he gave her that look. And he's like, no, like I'm not mad at her or anything. It's just, you know, it's been a lot. And like, I like to talk too. And, you know, we just have been doing too much and we just need time to breathe. And I'm like, okay, big yikes.
Well, but they just traveled from Colorado to Georgia in a car together. So they've just spent like 3 days on the road or whatever.
Right.
And so it's probably okay that he just needs a little bit of a breather.
Totally. But I'm like, this is all by your doing though. Like you wanted a 4-month
You
wing.
made the choice.
Yep. This is your choice. So this is what you gonna get.
Right.
And then we switch gears and we go to kind of the meat of the episode, which is Micah and Veronica going to couples therapy. And this was like so wild because we started off with Micah, sweet Micah, just saying, I feel like I'm going to therapy because I actually want to be a better Micah for Veronica. I want to be a better person. I want to work on myself. But I don't feel like Veronica is going to therapy for that same reason. I feel like she's just wanting me to think and act more like her and what she wants me to be. And so I don't know if we're going to have like a very successful or productive therapy session. And lo and behold, he's right.
Yeah. And to me, this is a great demonstration of Micah's actual emotional intelligence.
Yes.
He's very insightful. He might not be an educated man. And yes, he's made his mistakes, but I feel like he's showing up to this therapy session, giving it his best effort for some reason that I do not understand in my fucking brain ball. He loves this monster of a person.
I do not get it.
And he's trying to make this work. And so he's showing up and he's being authentic.
He is.
And he's opening his heart. And the entire time, she's sitting next to him and she's just goading him and berating him and degrading him in front of this therapist, which is why they say you can't take a narcissist to therapy.
Mm-mm.
Like, there's no reaching that person. There's such a block and an obstacle to their actual consciousness. Like, there's no hope. Abandon hope, all ye who enter into Veronica Peters' orbit, because something is wrong with her, and she gets off on belittling even the therapist, talking over the therapist.
I know. It's so gross. I just don't understand it. And like, we start off the conversation or the therapy session with Veronica saying Micah's been looking up pictures of naked women that they know. And then the therapist is like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, Tegan, who is Ethan's girlfriend, like I said, she has an OnlyFans, or I think Micah brings it up.
No, it was Veronica who said she saw an article that indicated that Tegan was an OnlyFans model, causing Micah to call his brother Ethan and say, hey, Veronica said that there's an article that says your girlfriend is an OnlyFans model. And so then they get off the phone and Micah picks up his phone to read the article, to actually look at the source that Veronica cited to see what the hell she's talking about, which she purposefully misunderstands. Like, she's going out of her way to misunderstand that, looking up the article to equal that he was looking up the pictures of Tegan's naked body, which he tries to explain in the session. Like, absolutely not. I was like looking to see if what you told me is true.
Is true, because he says that all Veronica does is she'll say some shit and doesn't fact check it at all. She says it as if it is true, as if there is base to it. And then he's trying to fact check it and she wants to berate him for that. And I think he even said, like, when he called Ethan to tell him what Veronica told him, Ethan was like, well, look it up and make sure it's true. And so that's what Micah did. He wasn't looking it up to jack off to Tegan's naked photos. He was literally just trying to make sure what she was saying was true. But no, Veronica spins it into Micah's a cheater. He will always be a cheater. He's looking up naked photos of someone that we know. So therefore, he can't be trusted at all. He can't even be around this woman ever again because he's just going to go fuck her. Like, that's her logic.
Right. And he's been trying to tell everybody, like, she just escalates to these absolute irrational proportions. And like, there's absolutely no dealing with him. So you can kind of see how he has turned into this just quiet, beaten down, broken shell of a person who doesn't have the agency to like say what he actually feels. And whenever he does, she just steamrolls him every single time. And again, I just have to say, I have to speculate, like, what's going on in the house that we're not seeing?
Exactly.
Because Veronica seems abusive. She seems like she knows she's abusive. She seems like she's happy to be an abuser. And so with a person like that, once the camera shut down and you go back to your new home, which she owns, which he's working on, and probably the reason Kim said, is your name on that? Like, why are you working like a dog to flip this house probably? When we go back to that house, what are you actually doing to Micah? Because, I mean, I don't know Micah's authentic, innate personality other than what we've seen over the seasons, but it takes quite a bit of browbeating and potential beating to like break a man down like that, where he's like unwilling to walk away from you. Like, I'm just like, Micah, why aren't you getting up out of this therapy session and just saying, I'm out?
Yeah. It's like he's becoming conscious of the fact that he's being beat down and that he can't ever win, because Veronica doesn't want him to ever win or get a leg up or anything like that. She wants him to be low, down on the ground. She wants him to be beaten down because she likes that.
A weak man, a worm.
Exactly. And like, the therapist tries to call her out on this, and she's like, well, why aren't you listening to him when he's trying to say and explain why he was looking up Tegan's OnlyFans? Like, he wasn't looking it up to jack off or to cheat on you. He was just trying to fact check you. Why can't you hear him? Why can't you believe him? And then Veronica's like, well, but I can't trust him. And the therapist is like, okay, then why are you even here? Like, why are we here for this? And Veronica's like, well, but I love him. And I think that Micah's a good guy and he's got a good heart and a good soul. And I think he's a good person. But like, also, I can't trust him because he's a piece of shit cheater. Like, that's her manipulation. It's like, give him a little bit, say that he's a good guy, but then shit all over him because you're hurt that he cheated on you.
And there was some point, and I don't know if I'm skipping ahead, but I can't quite keep it all together. But there's some point where Veronica was addressing the cameras and she talks about being bullied as a child.
Yes, and you were right.
And I talked about that. Well, it's not hard. You don't have to be a psychic on the internet to see that this woman has been traumatized and now she's hurting other people as a result of the trauma. But she talks about how she wasn't skinny enough, how she wasn't pretty enough, and how she was not accepted by her peers. And I'm just like, okay, well, I get it. I feel like a lot of us have been bullied. Maybe we didn't have a lifetime full of bullying, but a lot of us have experienced being bullied at some point in our life. And that's terrible, obviously. But we don't allow that to then turn us into a bully to other people.
Exactly.
Like a lot of us hopefully go to therapy and work on ourselves and we realize, well, bullying's bad. And so therefore I should not be a bully. And I get that Veronica's young and she hasn't put all these puzzle pieces together, but there's just this demonic glee to her when she's hurting somebody else. And so I really question the level of abuse and bullying that she endured, and not so as to question whether she's telling the truth. I believe her.
Sure.
But I wonder how bad that really was. I think it was probably very bad.
Yes.
I wonder about her home life. I wonder who defended young Veronica. But at this point, you're an adult.
Yep.
You should know better. You don't get a pass for treating people like an absolute monster demon trash bag. You are a ghoul for how you're treating this young man. You shouldn't treat a dog like this. Or
no.
Of course not a dog.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't treat anything or anybody like this.
Yep.
And I feel like from a meta position, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but from the production viewpoint, looking at Veronica, it almost feels like she decided a while ago that she wants to be the villain.
Yeah.
I want to take on the role of the bad guy and I want to call the Plaths out and I want to take every single opportunity to be on camera and to shit stir. And that's kind of why she's doing some of this.
Well, and I think she thinks that she would get all of the support from other toxic people who are also chronically online. And
Olivia?
And who are also bullied and think that it's okay to treat other people this way. And Veronica says some shit in the therapy session about how she believes in the golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated or how they treat you. But I'm if you want to be treated kindly, then treat people with kindness. Why are we being mean to everybody? Because that's your definition of the golden rule. And Micah tries to challenge her on that as somebody who actually grew up with the real golden rule from the 10 Commandments of the Bible, where it actually fucking comes from.
It doesn't.
What is it?
That's why Veronica makes fun of him. It was actually something that Jesus said. So the 10 Commandments are from the time of Moses.
Well, I meant it came from the Bible.
It comes from the Bible, but what she was mocking him for was that he got the scripture wrong. And he's trying to talk about loving our neighbor as we love ourselves and the principle of love. But she's focusing on the fact that he got something wrong.
Yeah, and that he's stupid.
And she's just laughing at him.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's so gross.
It's super gross. And then she talks about how she's somebody who is very competitive and gets in the mud. So she will fight for things, and she's kind of an aggressive person. And so she's going to make her voice heard or whatever. And so this analogy of being in the mud comes up in the therapy session, as a way of Veronica always just being ready to fight and ready to attack. And she doesn't need to be at that level. She doesn't need to be defensive. She doesn't need to be mean. She doesn't need to be angry. You can communicate your hurt feelings and your anger in a healthy way where you're not hurting other people as a result. But Veronica can't hear that because she can't see past her big fucking head and her big fucking feelings. It's all just about how she feels. And she says, well, but I like to be in the mud and I like to make people feel bad because they hurt me. And I do this to Micah intentionally, on purpose, because I want him to feel as shitty as he makes me feel. Girl.
And in that moment, it should have been such a huge moment of clarity for Micah to realize this woman is untreatable. This woman is potentially evil. And taking it back to scripture, like the scripture of throwing pearls before swine, this idea that we're giving the very best of ourselves, the treasure of ourselves, and we're throwing it to people who are literal pigs in a pit rolling around in mud who don't even understand what pearls are. And Micah, that is what you're doing. Like,
Yep.
yes, you've made mistakes, and yes, you come from a somewhat problematic family, but like, you're a good person.
Yep.
You're a kind person. You're a nice young man. Why are you throwing the very best parts of you at the feet of this monster who just wants to laugh at you, wants to make you feel pain?
It's because he feels so guilty. I think he feels so guilty because part of the reason is because of Veronica making him feel guilty, but also he knows, I think, deep down that cheating on her was super wrong and it obviously hurt her so badly. And so I think he's staying out of guilt, which is another like manipulative tactic. And like, I think the therapist tries to call it out in the session of like, why are you here, Veronica? Like, if you want to be here, you need to actually try and forgive him. If you love him, you need to try and forgive him and like give each other the space to actually grow from this and be better. But Veronica doesn't want that. She says she does. She says she wants to forgive and she says she loves him and everything. But no, if you actually did, you would let your guard down and stop being such a fucking viper to somebody who you claim to love.
I don't think there's anything under the veneer here. I don't think underneath it all, she's a good person. I think she's a broken and bad person. I'm like, who's hiring this woman to help source their homes or sell their homes? Like, how does she conduct herself in a professional setting? Because like when we get to the part with Zach and Lydia and she's just having like a conversation with Lydia, she's so abnormal.
Yeah.
Like the way she moves her head all the time and the way she's like always looking up and talking with her affect. I'm like,
Yeah.
who's hiring you to do anything? Like, you need a lot of help. And I'm not making fun of her. I'm just pointing to her mannerisms, her behavior, and the things that she's actually saying. Like, there's something super turbo troubling about this young woman.
Yeah, it's really fucking toxic. And you know what? Speaking of it, in the year of our Lord 2025, she's got another boyfriend. And he looks like a Timu version of Micah, like total blonde, you know, surfer boy, whatever. But like, she's got another boyfriend.
I don't believe it.
She posted about him the other day on his birthday.
I'm sure. I don't believe it. That girl's a liar.
If
that
she
girl is a terrible person and a liar.
I feel like she's probably got an MO in her relationships. Like, if she's actually got a personality disorder, if she's a narc or whatever, like, she lures people in. And then once she gets comfortable with them, then she lets her shit down and starts being an asshole.
Truly toxic. And she gaslights. I mean, I think that's why Micah's still here. I think he's so turned around.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know what's right. He doesn't know what's wrong. All he knows is that he's always wrong. And so he doesn't want to visit himself on anybody else in any other relationship. He even says at some point, like, I just don't know how to handle women. I just don't know how to pick women. Like, something's wrong with me, because she's gaslamped him so hard that he doesn't even know who he is.
It's so fucking sad. And then at the end of the therapy session, she just like gets up and leaves and doesn't say goodbye to anybody.
Doesn't say thank you for the therapy session. Doesn't acknowledge what the therapist was saying right before she stood up.
It kind of reminded me of Mao from Couples Therapy with Dr. Orna, which we cover on Patreon, by the way, if you want to go look.
So good.
It's so good. But it kind of reminded me of that, because he did that same thing. He would get up in the middle of a therapy session and just
while
like
Dr. Orna is talking to him directly. And he would start perusing her bookshelves and pulling off like Rubik's Cubes and looking at them while she's trying to address him.
And that was with Veronica. Like, every time the therapist would try to talk to her, she's like looking at her shirt or whatever, or like not paying attention. And because she's only thinking about her feelings in this, because her feelings are the only valid feelings here, nothing else. And she doesn't want to listen to the therapist who's trying to advocate for like, hey, I get that you're a hurt person and that you're angry and that you have a guard up, but like maybe take it down a few notches and lead with love instead of hatred.
She
and
doesn't
vitriol,
want to.
but
It
she
feels
doesn't want
good.
to.
She loves it.
She loves.
Like, I wonder,
toxic.
like, are you a sociopath? Like, I mean, I think
Maybe.
we're getting into those types of conversations, Veronica.
Maybe.
You weirdo.
She's a freak, dude. Sorry, but not sorry.
That's how I feel.
And then we get to the Plath family farm, and this is where we have a double date between Tegan and Ethan and Kaylin and Isaac.
I cannot tell Tegan and Kaylin apart.
I know.
They look like the same person.
Yep.
They have a very similar name. I'm like, who are these generic, pretty white girls?
Exactly.
No personalities. Just like,
Not really.
who are you?
Not really at all. But they're doing like some dorky little double date between the two of them. You see Ethan and Isaac like playing around in the country, and they talk about how much they love being at home in Cairo and on the farm. Like that's where their heart is. And Ethan talks about how he gets homesick when he comes down to Georgia. Every time he comes back or goes back to Minnesota, he's like, man, I just wish I could be back with my family. And it made me wonder if maybe that's the reason, because Ethan and Tegan, I think, are broken up.
Really?
Yes, and the current year of our Lord.
Really?
Yes, because she doesn't follow him on Instagram anymore.
Oh my god, T.
Yeah. So, and there's rumors going around. I don't know if it's true that they have totally broken up.
Well, I was kind of wondering because in this episode he talks about relocating back down to Georgia, and I'm like, doesn't Tegan have a baby?
Yeah, and she's up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, so she's probably got a baby daddy.
Yeah.
And so that baby daddy's probably not going to allow his child to leave Wisconsin. So
yeah, so I'm wondering if that's maybe the reason he just wanted to come back to Cairo. I hope nothing bad happened between the two of them. I think Tegan's a nice girl for however boring and generic she is. I think she's probably nice. I don't wish anything bad in their relationship. Not. But during this double date, it was kind of weird because all four of them paint portraits of each other. And it was like kind of silly, like whatever. But like Ethan paints a naked silhouette of Tegan, and I'm just like, my god, why?
Yeah.
A lot of people are giving him flack for that online. I just think it's kind of cringy to me.
Yeah, what are they giving him flack for? Like he's a sexual predator or
that
something?
He's a misogynist and he doesn't respect
Come
women.
on, guys.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, he's attracted to his woman. It doesn't mean that he's a misogynist, but like whatever. And he says something to that effect, like, I painted her naked picture because of all this rumor going around of her having an OnlyFans, so I just figured I'd play it up on it. Right. And I don't know. And then we have Isaac painting Pookie Bear Kaylin, and then he says that it looks like a pig. Because his drawing is so bad. Right. And it was just like, it was kind of sweet or whatever.
It was a quaint little scene with two brothers and their girlfriends just having a nice night. I mean, it was sweet, but it was kind of giving like Olivia and her weird boyfriend circle last season. I'm like, okay, I'm about to snore. I'm about to fall asleep. So move it along.
Like, I literally don't care. The only thing that was interesting was Tegan talking about the rumor that Veronica's been spreading about her. Having an OnlyFans, and Tegan straight up says, it's kind of interesting that somebody I've met only once is talking about me posting naked photos and videos of myself on OnlyFans. It's giving fan behavior. I'm like, girl, weren't you a fan of the show too, though?
But I still loved it so much. And I also loved when Kaylin and Tegan were alone in the kitchen.
Yes.
And didn't Veronica come up during that scene? And they kind of started laughing about her because Tegan was talking about having only met her once.
Yeah, it was something like, I think Kaylin opened up the conversation with like, you know, how do you like dating a Plath? And Tegan's like, I love it. And I think the Plaths get a bad rap. Like, they're just a normal family. Every family's dysfunctional. And then I think Kaylin brought up Veronica, like the first time she ever met her was at the proposal. And that was when Veronica was talking shit, trying to talk shit about the family to Kaylin. I'm like, Veronica, you are unhinged.
Just calm down.
Just stop it. You don't need to talk crap about everybody. Like, I'm sorry, but Kaylin seems to like the family. She seems to like Isaac. Tegan seems to like the family too. So you're not going to turn them against the Plaths just because you're bitter. And, well, I'll keep it to myself. And then we have Lydia and Zach going down to Boca to visit Micah and Veronica at their house. I guess they're going to stay there for like a weekend or whatever to have Zach get to know Micah and his crazy demonic girlfriend. And we have Micah literally digging trenches under the house because their pipes have broken, and rather than hire a plumber, she's just gonna make Micah do it.
Slave labor.
Literally. Like, do it for free and get under the house and figure that shit out.
It's called sweat equity.
Yeah,
I mean, where you work on behalf of your dwelling, and you would hope that Micah therefore would have some sort of an interest in the home, but I don't think that he does.
No, and I think he's kind of like Ethan here, where he's like, I just need to work on something physical and practical because nothing else makes sense in my life. Like Micah says something like, I understand plumbing better than I understand relationships and understand girls. I think they like really gravitate towards like physical things to do with their hands where it can make sense to them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It just shows like he's so lost in this relationship. And we have Veronica saying some bullshit to the camera about after the therapy session, she realized that she says some things out of anger that is really mean and hurtful.
You said that last episode, and you said that the episode before that, and you said that the episode before that. So when does the change in behavior happen?
Yeah, when do you actually realize that you're venomous and you're mean and you shouldn't be talking like that to somebody you purport to love?
You shouldn't be in a relationship with anybody.
Straight up. You need like actual intensive therapy for your fucking self, or like, I don't know, a heroic dose of shrooms where you can kill that ego of yours because it's
ayahuasca,
crazy.
Shit your pants and have a transcendent moment.
Shit your pants. God. Actually, though, I mean, like, otherwise there's no hope for you.
I know.
God. And then Micah says that he's worried about Veronica blowing up in front of his family again because Lydia and Zach are coming to town. And I think she ends up doing that. I mean, I think we're probably going to continue this scene next episode, it seems like. I don't know. But we have Zach coming down and he's in the trenches with Micah.
Which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, he's trying to do bro stuff.
Bro tings.
Yeah.
But I did see them talk a little bit, Lydia and Zach, about Micah and Ethan sitting him down to ask a bunch of dumb questions. And I think Micah also addresses this too, how Ethan and Micah asked Zach if he was gay. And we get it from Zach's perspective. And he's like, yeah, that was pretty disrespectful. But I mean, I understand kind of where they're coming from. I'm not holding any grudges. And so I feel like Zach really does show up to Boca Raton like with an open heart, like wanting to connect. He's not holding anything against Micah, even though I would.
Yeah.
I would.
For sure. I mean, he does say something like, I don't have brothers myself, but I am a brother to two sisters. And so like, I understand their perspective of just like looking out for Lydia, and they're asking me hard questions. So like, I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I think Lydia says something like, you know, we're here specifically so my brother can like get to know my fiance, my future husband. And if he wants to do that, that's great. If he doesn't, then he's going to miss out. Like, she has a good level head about it. Like, she's like, I'm genuinely trying in this short amount of time to have my family get to know my new me. And if they don't want to, they don't want to. And that's fair. And then we have Lydia going off by the pool with Veronica's mean ass. And then we have Zach and Micah doing their own thing. And when we have Lydia and Veronica talking at the pool, Veronica's immediately talking about the proposal and the wedding. And
well, but first she has to love bomb Lydia and say, oh my God, you're like one of the only Plaths that I actually get along with. And the last time I saw you, I was at your engagement and I really didn't have a great time, but I was there for you because I really like you. And I'm like, oh, you're so toxic. Everything about you is toxic. And you can kind of see Lydia start to lean back because she's picking up what Veronica's throwing down. And she says to the camera something like, well, I mean, thank you, but I'm also hearing the insult to my family at the same time.
Yeah, well, and like, how uncomfortable is that to hear? Like, yeah, so I only showed up to your engagement because of you, but like, I was like really uncomfortable the whole time there, and it was just like really weird and tense, and I don't know, I just didn't really like it. And, you know, to be honest, like, I'm a little worried about the wedding too and showing up there. And it's like, who says that to somebody? That's so bizarre to me. Like, even if I go to a social function that I don't really want to go to, I'm not going to tell the people who are hosting the social function, yeah, this shit was shitty and I don't want to be here. I'm not going to say that. That's not polite.
She cannot help herself at all. And was this the scene? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. But at some point, Veronica says something like, yeah, those boys setting Zach on fire or setting the scene on fire. I was trying to stop them, but like they couldn't be stopped. Like, she blamed it all on Ethan and Micah when she was the main instigator to those boys to get Ethan to set fire to the pier or whatever. Like, she just pretended she had nothing to do with it. I was like, what's going on?
It's literally on film.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how you can lie about something. It's like with the Browns and Sister Wives. It's like, how are you lying if it's literally recorded on my television? I'm watching you say this stuff. I'm watching you instigate these boys. I don't understand you. And it's like, I don't understand how people can even look at Veronica now in episode 7 and still root for her, because there's no bad editing here. There's no like weird tricks of the camera or some weird story against the Plaths. Like, she's genuinely crazy and genuinely the problem here. Like,
yeah.
that's it.
I mean, it's all on her.
Yeah.
And again, and we've said this before, it's not that she doesn't have like a kernel, like a 1% valid point
Right.
about Micah and whatever, but like it's the way she's going about just setting it all on fire and being so disrespectful to everybody that just nobody cares about what your original point was. Nobody cares to listen to you. Nobody wants to be around you, Veronica.
No, you're crazy.
So maladapted.
Yep. And like Lydia, poor sweet Lydia, just wants to have a nice wedding. Like, she doesn't need all of this drama. And I feel bad. I really do. Like, I feel bad that her wedding is the source of so much drama. And like, I've been critical about her and Zach's timeline and everything and how it's fast and she didn't give her family enough time to get to know him. I get it. But like, I feel like for the most part, the Plaths would have been on their best behavior. I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna blame the future events on the wedding all on Veronica. I am, but like,
mark my words, she's
Veronica,
the instigator.
Yeah, like she's
the one who starts shit, and it's gonna be Micah trying to protect her.
Yes,
because maybe Veronica says something to Kaylin, and then Isaac gets upset on behalf of Kaylin, and then Micah is gonna feel some sort of displaced loyalty to Veronica, so he's gonna step in front of her, and then it's on between Isaac and Micah. Something like that. If it's not exactly that, it is something that Veronica does to set fire to the entire thing.
Definitely. I mean, this whole episode, she keeps threatening to not go to the wedding. Like,
please,
I'm not going to go to the wedding.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Please like, don't show up. Nobody wants you there.
Please don't. Like, she's like, I'm not going to show up if Tegan's there because my man was looking up her titties or something online. But then she says some fucked up shit like, if I don't go to the wedding, Micah can't go. And Micah can't go alone. And I'm like, are you kidding?
She's not kidding.
This is his sister. This is her wedding. Like, he should be allowed to go. I don't give a fuck if you're uncomfortable about it. Don't go then.
Back from Uncensored, I said a little something that I probably shouldn't leave up for general consumption. By the way, if you want to catch all of our uncensored bits, you got to be a patron. So join us in the dumpster over there. What were we saying about how much I hate her again?
That she's just absolutely fucking insane.
So terrible.
And like her manipulating Micah into not going to the wedding and her threatening to not go to the wedding. Like, bitch, stay home.
Yeah, please.
Like, look, you have every right to like not like the Plaths. I've said this before. You have every right to not really get along with the family. Not everybody jives with other people's families. That's fucking fine. But you don't have a right to like dictate and control Micah and his actions with his own fucking family. Like, you don't have the right to be like, if I'm not going, you're not going to your sister's wedding. Fuck you.
I mean, if we reversed the genders on that, I mean, how many of us would be absolutely losing our shit over that?
And that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, women can be abusers as well.
Yes.
But they're often not taken seriously because we don't think that men can be abused in the same ways that men abuse women. Like, no. Like, I'm sorry. I feel bad for Micah. He is beaten down. This woman is crazy. She's an evil witch. And I'm so over it.
I am over it as well. I feel like we're being redundant about her.
I know, but it's like every episode, it's so awful.
I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but like, it's just, she's pretty bad. She's pretty bad. Awful. And she's triggering. I think she's triggering a lot of people out there who have known somebody like her.
Yes. And then we have like Zach and Micah just like digging holes or whatever, and they're having bro talk, and Zach can sense there's tension between Micah and Veronica. He asks Micah about it, and poor Micah is just like, I think he's embarrassed by how toxic his relationship is and how like outwardly toxic it is, because it's affecting literally everybody because Veronica has to make it everybody else's business. And Micah's just like, well, like, we're trying. And then Micah says something to the camera like, you know, me and Veronica are going through our own shit, and that's really unfortunate. And it sucks that I'm like watching Zach and Lydia, who seem so happy and in love, but at the same time, they're in their honeymoon phase. And me and Veronica were in our honeymoon phase as well. And now we're not. So I think he's like trying to foreshadow to the fact that like, married life's going to be different for Lydia and Zach. Maybe things will be...
right, but what Micah doesn't understand
is
that long-term marriages don't look like what he's got with Veronica. Like, my husband would
Never.
And I never would with my husband.
Oh, no.
And I
yeah.
look at a relationship like you have, and you guys are so compatible, but you also truly try to err on the side of being respectful and loving toward one
Yeah.
another in your communication and the way you interact with each other, even when things are hard.
Yeah.
And like, that's a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And so what Micah doesn't know is what a healthy relationship is, because let's not forget the model previous to this relationship for Micah was Kim and Barry.
Right.
And who knows what was really happening in that house as well.
Yep. And even then with his older brother, Ethan, like he
Mm.
watched Ethan and Olivia
Yeah.
go through a really toxic divorce, and it was not a healthy relationship. And now you see Ethan and what he's turned into as kind of a bitter, resentful,
homophobe,
drunk.
Yeah.
Like
drunk ass homophobe.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like he's degraded. And like even Mariah, he's also seen Mariah and how beaten down she's become out of all of her relationships. And now she's run off to the mountains of Montana, which, by the way, she has been posting some beautiful photos of her life in Montana now, and she seems to be happy.
I hope so.
I hope so.
She's back to being blonde, and I love that for her.
I do too. Get rid of the black hair, please.
So I do want to say, though, while Micah and Zach are outside working on that terrible plumbing project, the gay thing comes up again.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny when Micah said, "Are you gay?" or something, or "Why are you gay?" or something like that. Like he referenced the meme, but they had kind of a little talk about it.
Yeah.
I wish they would have gone a little farther with that.
Me
I feel
too.
like Micah's actually a pretty sensitive person, and he kind of makes a few statements in this episode like, yeah, I feel like we were asking some questions that were maybe not appropriate. Like, I realized that might have made Zach uncomfortable. I really wish I would have heard Micah articulate that a little bit more and maybe apologize, because I think maybe he feels bad about it.
Yeah.
Especially now with Zach helping him dig his ditch and stuff.
I mean, for real, I'm wondering why we're kind of glossing over that comment, because on Zach's perspective, I'm sure that was very hurtful and very disrespectful, and like, how dare you question my sexuality, and like, it's super inappropriate. And I'm just like wondering like why we're not having more in-depth conversations about that.
Well, I think that they are addressing it. I know that Zach and Lydia are talking to the camera, but maybe Micah doesn't know what to say. Maybe Micah doesn't have the capacity with everything emotional happening in his life right now. It's just like bombs going off everywhere. Like, he just doesn't have the mental aptitude to like have the conversation. I'm hoping at some point he went back around and he apologized sincerely for that and said, I was wrong, but we don't know.
I think Lydia has said currently, like on some podcast or whatever, I think she has said that like Ethan has apologized to her specifically. I don't know if she said Micah has apologized to. I can't imagine that he
to her.
hasn't.
Well, they owe the apology to him.
Yes, they've apologized to both of them. Is what she's kind of alluded to. She hasn't given a lot of details because it's Lydia and she doesn't really want to gossip or anything like that. She has expressed that she doesn't want to talk bad about her family or anything like that. But I think she has said that they have come around and apologized, which is cool. I just wish we could see that resolution.
Maybe we
on
will.
TV. Maybe we will. Who knows? Or maybe Ethan's going to set Zach on fire, apparently, according to Veronica, at the wedding.
I don't think so.
And then after digging ditches and talking shit by the pool, then we come inside into their drab-ass home and play some weird truth or dare game. And, I mean, they try to, like... I think they try to start off with Lydia and Zach says something like, well, I don't want to do truth because we already know everything about each other. After 4 months, we already know everything. Right. So there's no truth to divulge. So let's do dare. And I think Veronica's the one that starts it off, right? Doesn't she do some kind of dare?
Yeah, she's like, well, we're going to give you a double dare. You can choose one, and it's either kiss Zach or take a shot.
Yeah.
And so Lydia chooses to kiss Zach on the cheek. But that just hit me a little cruel, because Veronica understands at this point, just as everybody does, that is Lydia's value.
Right.
That is her faith. She can't help herself but to try and get Lydia to compromise on that.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that was a bit vindictive. I also thought it was interesting that Lydia was having an alcoholic beverage at 20 years of age. She's not 21 at this time.
No, they did say she turned 21 at this point.
I thought She wasn't yet.
Well, according to Veronica on Reddit, she was saying that she wasn't, but like they opened it up saying she just turned 21.
Okay.
Because last episode she was having champagne with
well,
her
I think she's
parents.
been drinking is as I think my bigger point. Just like we've got Mariah, who is an adult and can drink, it is legal. I think Lydia, the missionary, the sold out for Jesus young lady praying in a closet, has also been drinking, which I think just speaks volumes to whatever the family culture was when they were living on that farm. I think Kim was drinking. I think they're not unfamiliar with alcohol.
Yeah, and like when you restrict kids so much, I mean, like what are they going to turn to? They're going to turn to a vice. Like when you don't like promote a culture of like openness and like trusting, like they grow up and they get into substances. Like that's just like the natural way of things. Like, I don't know, people experiment. I was a bad kid and I was experimenting in my teens, which I shouldn't have. But
Lydia's supposed to be like Southern Baptist, IBLP, which I don't know if that's Southern Baptist, but like culty Christian, praying in a closet. It just seems a bit like a non sequitur to me that she would be able to justify drinking alcohol, because like back in the day when I was a missionary and an evangelical and a street preacher and doing all my business, I would have never had alcohol. No, never. Never would have had alcohol. I know. I'm not an evangelical anymore, obviously, but like I just wouldn't have done it. So I'm just wondering like what she actually believes around that.
It's the blood of Jesus.
And if there's like a cognitive dissonance that's happening, or if it's like something built into their family. I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe she's dealing with some emotional shit, so she's drinking her pain.
Just numb the pain.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole like truth or dare thing, I felt like it was just Veronica's way of being like, look, like I'm fun and cool and I'm like normal like everybody else, but it's like you're not fun to be around. You're actually really mean, and everyone I think is kind of scared of you. Like, congrats. Like, this is what you've cultivated for all of your relationships
I'm
around
not.
you.
And I also don't think Ethan is, and I don't think Barry is. I think Micah is, but I think there was a few. I don't think Isaac is. I think there are a few Plaths that are not afraid of her at all.
Yeah,
and that have her number, and that's why she's so uncomfortable around them.
God, I can't wait until we get to the wedding.
I can't wait till we get to the intervention when they're all sitting in a circle talking to her. That's what I want to get to. Make her cry.
I hope that's next week. I hope that's next week.
That's such not a maternal impulse, but
no, but like, come on, like she needs a taste of her own medicine.
Indeed.
Like, really, like sometimes you need to be humbled and realize like, oh, I'm the fucking problem. I'm wrong. And then we get to the preview for the next couple episodes. We have like a couple days before the wedding, and Lydia's like, I'm not sleeping until everything is done. She's like freaking out. And I'm like, girl, if you would have just, I don't know, waited. Yeah. You would have had time to plan and you wouldn't be so stressed, but here we are. We see another clip of Barry got the drip. Barry got the riz. He's the cool, fun dad.
I'm liking that for Barry.
I'm liking it too.
I don't mind it at all, but you know who does mind it?
Miss Kim. Kim is bitter. You can be bitter that Barry got the drip and Barry glowed up after your divorce, and he's looking... I don't want to say he's hot because he's not. But
comparatively speaking.
I mean, yeah. If they were the last two people on Earth, Kim, you're losing. But it's like she's so bitter that Barry's the fun and approving dad. She calls him out for it. She says that he's trying really hard to be this cool dad and not pressing hard enough on Zach, for instance, and not pressing hard enough on this really quick engagement. I do think that it's a fair criticism. It's unfortunate that it's coming from Kim Plath because it's like, who the fuck are you to talk?
You have no credibility. None.
Miss Infidelitous, cheating ass, drunkard. Come on. And then we have Veronica saying that her and Micah made a pact to not leave each other's side because they're at the Plath family farm. I don't know if it's like the day of the wedding or maybe if it's like the rehearsal or something.
The run up, for the wedding.
She's like, Micah made a pact with me to not leave my side, and now here he is getting in a truck, driving off somewhere with Isaac.
Bye.
He's like, bye, bitch.
Peace.
And she's gonna get all mad about it. Deuces.
Right.
Sorry, they're on the farm and you're no fun to be around.
Nobody likes you, Veronica. I'm sorry.
Shit. Maybe that's what she meant by being abandoned on the side of the road.
Oh.
When she said on Reddit.
Yeah.
I got abandoned on the side of the road in Georgia. On the Plath farm.
Good.
Maybe you deserved it. Sorry. God, that's so mean. I shouldn't
No, she's terrible.
That. But she's
an awful person. We're just reflecting back to her that which she is.
Okay. Based.
Everything is just you pushed out. And so, Veronica, We're just you pushed out.
Facts. And then we did have Kim talking to Ethan about her reservations with Lydia and Zach. And I don't know if this is what causes tension with Ethan, because then we have the very next scene. Ethan's like, I'm pent up. I'm full of rage. And
Calm down,
he's
Ethan.
got to go throw shit around. I'm like, what? You're
It's
26.
Lydia's wedding day. What are you doing? You're such an embarrassment. Get therapy.
Straight up.
Look into personal development. Read a fucking book on personal development, you Cro-Magnon man.
I mean,
Og make fire.
For real. I'm like, you are the eldest brother and you're acting like such a fucking child. Throwing shit around on the farm when you're supposed to be getting shit together. And then I think the last scene is him driving out on with his old car or something.
Yeah, like burning rubber in the field where she's going to be getting married. I mean, maybe something terrible has happened. Maybe somebody did something terrible to Ethan, but I don't know what anybody could do that would cause you to be so disruptive during Lydia's wedding or the run-up to the wedding.
Yes.
You're just an a-hole, dude.
Yep.
You need help.
And it's like, maybe you're bitter because of your marriage. I get it. Like, I get that you might be sad that you ended up divorced at 25. That's kind of a shitty thing. I get it. But go to fucking therapy and deal with it. I thought when you took your motorcycle trip across the country, maybe you would have mellowed out a bit. But no, you turned into a bitter fucking angry dude, throwing shit around like a total toddler. I'm over it, man.
Yeah, me too. Been over it. Been over it.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed it though.
Me too.
It was such a great episode, and the tension is rising because even though Veronica is telling Micah that he can't go to the wedding and that she's not going to go to the wedding and that he can't be around Tegan, obviously they go.
They go.
And we know Tegan's going to be there, and we know Veronica won't be able to help herself, and we know there's going to be a big violent fight between Isaac and Micah. And so, girl, this is good.
I can't wait.
This is getting so good. How are you guys liking it? Please drop in the comments and let us know. I know it's toxic. I get it's very dramatic, but like, are you enjoying it like we are, or are we just so trashy, bitch?
Maybe we're so
Maybe
trashy. We're the toxic ones.
Maybe we're just euphoric on trash. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it.
I'm loving it.
So is there anything else that we need to say to these beautiful raccoons before we get up on out of here, Beatrice?
Well, if you love our podcast, please, I'm begging you, go to your favorite podcast platform and leave us a glowing 5-star review. It really helps us grow the pod, and we really appreciate it. So thank you so much in advance.
Make sure to come back next week where we sit or stand in front of the venture capitalists and the investors on Sister Wives Season 7, honey. It is also getting good there. Come back for that. We're having a lot of fun. Until then, please do not forget that we have nothing but love for you, and peace out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.